Hello there, my name is Barry, Haringey Furniture, and I've been asked by a few people to just make the assembly of the Lancaster chairs a little bit easier, so we thought the best way to do that was to put up a video. Basically, I've got here in front of me the contents of one chair. Just bear in mind that some of you will probably be unpackaging a pair of chairs, so you do need to establish which bits are for each chair. I'll just run through them quickly. First of all, down here we have the dowels. There are 10 of those for a chair. And over here we have the barrel nuts. There's 10 of those, again, for each chair. They're all identical. You don't need to worry about that. Then we have 4 screws, again, all the same. The first difference we have is that we've got 8 bolts which are normal length and 2 bolts which were a little bit longer. Let me just come down here and you should be able to see that those 2 on the left are slightly higher. Obviously in there we've also got an Allen key. Moving on to the component parts, we have 3 cross rails. And I don't know if you can actually see that, but I've put them together at the bottom so that they are the same length. And then if I go up to the top, you can actually see that all 3 of them are slightly different lengths. Now this can be a bit confusing if you're just taking out of the box and sticking the first ones on the chair that you see. You will be left with some components at the end and a chair that won't go together. If I can just flip these over as well, you can see, if I again put them back to the same starting height, that 2 of them, which are the 2 slightly shorter ones, are in fact, do in fact have extra holes in them. Those are the holes that you'll need later on to screw the seat on. So those are the 2 rails which go up under the seat. The other one, which doesn't have the extra holes in, is the one which goes lower down in the middle and is all on its own. Moving on, we've got the seat itself and the backrest. The actual seat itself does have a hole in it. That's nothing to do with anything, except that's where they hang it up when they're spraying it, and that will be underneath. There's nothing to worry about. It's just part of the way they make the chairs, and that'll be underneath and nobody will ever see that. As I say, we've then got the back rail, the backrest, and there's nothing really much to say about that. The only possibility you could have that is upside down. But if you did have that, then you'd have those horrible holes exposed, so it actually sits that way on the chair. And lastly, we have the 2 chair sides. They are different. There is a left and a right. You can see that the chair sides have extra holes inside, so if you get a pair of chair sides, they do need to be different, and they do need to have the extra holes on the inside. So the first thing you do is to put all the dowels in place, and I'll do that now and then come back to this video. Okay, well, we're back now, and we've got all the dowels in place. As you can see, they just fit snugly in there. You might need a little hammer to tap them in, and basically they go into the blank holes, leaving you a hole in the end of each rail. This hole at the bottom is for the barrel nut, and that's where the bolt goes through. And basically it's just the 3 rails that those need to go into, and the backrest at the top and the bottom of the backrest, and that's all 10 because there's 4 on each side. So just going back to the rails over here, what we need to do is to just line them all up again and make sure that we have the shortest one. So I'll take the shortest one, and the shortest one fits onto the front of the chair. So basically the dowel is just located there, and then we're going to put underneath, up here, we're going to put the barrel nut, and on the end we're going to put the actual bolt itself. Right, I've put the front rail on the chair, and as you can see, the front leg and the back leg are different widths, and that's why you need the two longer bolts. It's the two longer bolts that secure this front rail, which is the shorter rail, together with the two chair sides. So that is the longer bolt and that is the shorter rail. Okay, so we've now got the chair roughly together. Just to reiterate a few things. On the front here you need the longest bolt. This is the shortest rail with the extra holes in. This is the middle sized rail, or the longest rail with the extra holes in. And the one at the bottom here is the very longest rail, which doesn't have the extra holes in. That's probably about it. Everything else locates exactly as it should. And the only thing left to do now, or the only thing left to say, is that I've actually done these up very loosely. I haven't used the Allen key at all. I can just undo them with my fingers. Now the reason for that is to keep all four legs on the floor, and we want to be able to locate those on the floor to stop the chair rocking. Obviously if you do these up at any other angle, it is possible to have the chair rocking. So the next thing to do is to just get the seat, and basically the seat itself, as I said, it has an extra hole in it, which has nothing to do with anything. I just flip that over and locate that there like that, and then what I'm going to do is turn the whole thing up on the desk and then put those four screws along the two cross rails, the front rail and the back rail, screw those in, and then I will, and only then, once I've done that, will I actually go round and tighten all of the bolts up to enable the chair to sit flatly on the floor. Okay, so there we have it, one fully assembled Lancaster chair. Hopefully that's made things a little bit easier for you. Just a few pitfalls that hopefully will be avoided. I put the top on, screwed the screws through. They cut their own thread. There's no holes for them to locate into. They're just normal screws going into wood. And then I've gone around and tightened up all of the bolts so that the actual chair sits firmly, snugly on the floor and doesn't wobble. That's it. I'm Barry. You can always get hold of me, 020 888 54321, with any questions, queries or anything else regarding your Lancaster chairs. Thanks very much.